My name is Charlie White. I live in Dallas, Texas. My partner and I just moved here in February of this year with our little dog Cleo. I'm an entrepreneur here in Dallas. I run a nonprofit called Eyes Not Forgotten. We together collectively just came out of a huge pandemic, and people are struggling with anxiety, depression, eating disorders were exacerbated during COVID. Suicide rate, unfortunately, was up. And so there's a lot of there's a mental health crisis, a global mental health crisis. And, those who seek treatment, the barrier to seeking treatment shouldn't be money. And so we try to come in and kind of fill that void when finances are an issue. So I've absolutely faced mental health issues myself. I've talked pretty openly about an eating disorder that I struggle with for many years, which is very prevalent in the gay LGBTQ plus community, but a lot of people don't talk about it. And there's a huge stigma amongst gay men and what we're supposed to look like and what the ideal body type is. And so I faced that. I kind of bought into that through social media, and it created a pretty deep eating disorder that I struggled with for a few years. The nonprofit started in 2017. It was actually originally very different than what it is today. We restructured it just a year ago. When we started, I was really inspired by a trip that I took to Guatemala with my ex at the time. We were just inspired by what we saw, and we knew that we couldn't come back here and see what we saw and do nothing about it. So we actually started the 501c3 process. We got a really large partner right up front called Olympia USA, who makes luggage and backpacks. So we supplied 300 backpacks to the school down in Jutiapa, Guatemala, and then we ended up building a classroom down there. And our friends and family in Los Angeles, and where I'm originally from, Alabama, started hearing about our nonprofit. So we did programs in Birmingham, Alabama with the Rape and Crisis Center. We did projects with Weingart Center and other organizations on Skid Row. About a year ago, things changed, and we restructured the company and our board, and now we actually work in the mental health space too, which aligns perfectly with the mental health work that I've already been doing. When we restructure the organization, I would say that's probably the biggest challenge, because people knew us as a different organization, and now we're moving into the mental health space. And instead of relying on partners to kind of donate products, now we were truly raising funds. So the biggest thing is fundraising. I mean, it's really hard to sometimes get people to open their pockets and donate, and so hopefully people will continue to do that and to be giving, because we just came out of a global pandemic. We all experienced a really big trauma event together. So I'm hoping that people will help those who can't afford to get the proper care. For up and coming entrepreneurs and someone trying to build a new profit, I guess the biggest advice I would give you is just take the risk. It's a risk. Life's a risk. It's going to be a risk today, or it's going to be a risk tomorrow. But if you're passionate about something, I'm a fire sign, I'm an Aries, so I really believe in that. If I'm fired up about something, that's when I need to act, because things fizzle out. So if you're passionate about something, I feel like the time to act is now.